thanks for all of you that liked and commented on the last video. I didn't expect it to get that many views. I think it's at 1,600 at the moment, and yeah, I'm really grateful and I'm glad I could help so many people. I tried to reply to as many messages on Instagram that I got, and again, same with this video. If you want to message me on Instagram, feel free and I can answer any questions or tips or leave a comment or whatever that stuff. Cool. Libby McCarthy commented on the last video asking for a sketchbook video, and I know a couple of you messaged me on Instagram on my photography asking for the same thing, and rundown of my photography books from my time at A-level, so I thought I'd make one. Quick disclaimer, the only book I had access to still is my final piece one that I did, which is technically unfinished because I finished in March 2020 because of the pandemic and had to stop halfway through. With that said, let's get into the book. So the first piece of advice I would give is, before you even do your first page, is come up with a theme and make it easy to replicate. Having a consistent theme throughout your book helps bring it together, make it seem more organised, and a lot of the examiners are looking for that. For me, I wanted something that would be quick and easy. I went for a thin black line approach in the corners of images or box of texts. I wanted something that I could do quickly, get it done, and something that I'm not going to sit there for ages. I think a big mistake that people do make when they're doing their book work is overcomplicating. You don't need to be a graphic design artist with your pages. The examiners like to see creativity, but they don't mind if that's simple. And if you're not somebody who is that time efficient or that skilled at graphic design, I highly recommend just a really simple minimalist style to work with, something that you can get done each week. Something I tried to keep to was a system for each page. The creative side of the book work is not my strong suit. I much prefer taking the photos part, and I saw the actual book work as a bit of drag. So what I found is keeping a system for each page consistent each week to be quite effective. For example, each contact sheet page I did the same as every other contact sheet page, or every reference page I did the same as each other reference page. It just keeps your timings right, it keeps you to your quotas of weekly work, and for me, for somebody that doesn't find it the easiest, that just worked for me. I really try to fill my pages, particularly with blocks of text. You get marked just as much on how well you can write about photographers and write about your own work as you do getting marked on actually taking photos. So for me, I really try to fill each page with as much text as possible. I'm not somebody that is overly skilled at the writing aspect, but something I found is just try to find the deeper meaning in everything. All of your work, everything you do has to have a deeper meaning, and examiners just love this, your teachers will love this, and with that you can just write for hours. When the examiner's looking through your book and they see these big blocks of text, they immediately put them in the mindset of, right, this person obviously can fill a page, they must know what they're talking about. I tried to aim for around 250 to 500 words a page, not references, but mostly just the contact sheet page and the final piece page. By that way, that's about the right amount of words to fit in that you can talk about your work, talk about what influenced you, talk about what went well, talk about what didn't work well, and talk about what you plan to do in the next one and what you've learned from it. Referencing is something which you can really pick up those marks if you're aiming for the A to A star, which a lot of people forget about. I hated referencing, but it is important to do, and you can really show your creativity and your uniqueness and your thinking outside the box in it, which a lot of people don't think about. You've got to remember that the examiners are marking hundreds of books, and by having unique references, by having unique pages, really makes you stand out. An example of this is I did a shoot with my mate who's got a very large muscular torso. For one of the references, I did Greek and Roman statues of anatomy, of gladiators and that kind of thing, and gods and stuff. Yes, it was a bit out there of a reference, but my teacher loved it. By using an example like statues or other art pieces like film or fine art or any sort of other art with textiles, that kind of thing, by showing that you can reference and think about those alternative art forms as well as photographers, it really shows you not only can think out the box, and you really can take inspiration from any sort of art form, which is really what they look for in the A to A star grades. Get a guillotine. Nobody likes wonky lines. Cut your lines straight. Get a guillotine. This one's going to sound obvious, but look after your book. That book is being sent off to an examiner. If they see that it's all crumpled and got coffee stains on it and it's ripped and stuff, they're not going to think you took it very seriously. They're not going to think you took the course very seriously. So this is going to sound obvious, but look after your book. So yeah, that's about all the advice I can give. I hope that the advice I did give can help you or help at least somebody out there. If you have any questions, feel free to message me on Instagram or leave a comment underneath. Again, if you have any other video ideas or things you want me to talk about, feel free to again leave them in the comments. I will try to get around to them. Cool, thank you.